Hello and welcome. My name is Bunty. If you found this video, you know this is going to be a leveling experience for World of Warcraft. And on the screen ahead of you, you can see my first character. So his name is Sovik. He's going to be a Warlock, and he is on the US realm Dalaran. So before I start explaining, get down into a rabbit hole, let's just dive straight in to see the opening sequence for the Warlocks. Usually he's an Orc. And I'm trying to, as we go through, I'll try and explain exactly how I intend this series to go, what my aim is, and what you can look forward to if you decide to watch it.
The great cataclysm has shattered more than just the world.
Good old Orgrimmer. Good to see you.
The most powerful living shaman has left his people behind so that he might stop the cataclysm.
Okay, so as this opening sequence plays through, let me just give you a little bit of background about myself. So, as you can probably tell by my accent, I'm EU rather than NA, although this is an NA server I'm playing on at the moment, or NA realm. So my history, sort of experience playing World of Warcraft is I play on EU Mag Ferragon, and I'm predominantly Horde over there myself. And over the last sort of 8-9 years I've been playing World of Warcraft, I have got so many characters up to level 120, level 100. I enjoy doing the leveling experience. But what I haven't really done was took the time just to take a step back, do the leveling experience quite slowly, read through the missions, read through the quests, do a little bit more sort of the RP sort of side of stuff, and start with a clean character, a clean account, and try and see how far I can go in terms of achievements, in terms of appearances, all the things, various bits and pieces along those lines. So this is what this account is going to be for, and I think it'll be good fun for both myself, and if anyone enjoys this sort of content, hopefully it'll be good fun for you as well. So here he is. This is Sovik, the Warlock. So why an Orc and why a Warlock, you may ask? Let me explain that straight off the bat. So I find myself, Horde for me is my preferred faction. I have dabbled in the Alliance side. I've played the majority of my characters have been Horde side before, but I do prefer the Horde. I enjoy what they're about. I enjoy their sort of ethos rather than the Alliance. So I felt if I was going to go through, starting on a brand new server, let's just go into what I love the most, which is the Horde. So why an Orc? Well, bizarrely, despite the fact that Orcs are so dominant in the Horde, I've never took an Orc from level 1 to anywhere near end game content. I think my highest level Orc I've ever got up to is about level 60, and that's like, you know, when we got to level 120. So I felt I've probably missed out on some stuff in terms of the Orc, and as we sort of move further along through the expansion. So for me, Orc was sort of a natural selection. Historically, most of my mains, and especially 3 of the 4 I'm taking into Shadowlands, are all been goblins. And I love leveling goblins. I love the starting zone. I love everything about goblins. But for this brand new account, I felt it would be a little bit boring if I went down the goblin route again. So Orc it is. Okay, so why a Warlock rather than any of the other classes? Well, it's a bit of a tricky one, this one, because most of the other classes, or all of the classes pretty much in the game, I've took up to end game content. My main is an elemental shaman. I've got my second character as a mage. Ones I'm taking into Shadowlands include a rogue, a death knight, shadow priest. So, although I have got a warlock who's level 120, he's so far down the pecking order in terms of my sort of mains alts over on the EU side that I felt it's been a while since I've actually played with a warlock. And he's a demonology warlock, so we'll cover that when we get to level 10. So I'm probably going to go into one of the other specializations, whether it's going to be affliction or destruction. I haven't 100% made my mind up as yet, but I think it'll be good fun. I know that warlocks themselves at the moment are in a good position, looking ahead to Shadowlands, looking ahead to like how they can provide boosts for raids and bits and pieces. So I feel that warlocks themselves are a pretty good class themselves to quest through. I don't really want to try and quest. There's a protection warrior, for instance, which is the last class that I leveled up through on my EU side, which is very, very slow. So I think Warlock will be good fun. So that's a reason why we're an Orc. That's the reason why we're Horde and why we're a Warlock. So this series is not specifically going to be designed for beginners. There's going to be several things in there which are going to be useful tips for beginners. But what I'm not going to do in this series is start looking at, well, teaching how to press the keybinds, like to bring the map up, for instance, by pressing M, or you know, how to operate your spells and your professions and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to try. I'm going to presume that there is a base level of knowledge. There's loads of other guides and beginner's guides on the internet as it is. I did some research that sort of goes through this in great detail of how to set up a character, how to choose a realm, how to basically use all the buttons on the keyboard. I'm not going to go into that for this series. But what it might be useful for some beginners or people that play little is some of the things that I'm going to do, the experiences I've had leveling up the Horde, some of the things that I do and I sort of think about in my thought processes might be something that you can take into your own game, into your own content. So we can see how it goes. Okay, so let's start straight away by sorting out some of the preferences for this character. Now, I do use add-ons. I haven't got any installed at the moment. We'll cover that a little bit later on. But let's just get the layout of the screen right and how I prefer it. So again, for any new people, you just go into your little question mark down the bottom, the game menu, and you go into interface. So the first thing I want to do is select auto loop. So that's just going to make life a hell of a lot easier. So I would recommend that to anybody. I'm also going to click on auto dismount in flight as well. Combat, nothing's going to change. Display, nothing's going to change here either. Okay, so in terms of the social, I'm going to keep all of that on, including guild invites, because clearly I've got no guild at the moment. The action bars, I'm going to tick all of them, so I have all of them on. Nameplates is fine, camera's fine, everything else on that's fine. So that's great. Okay, so let's sort out the key bindings. Now, again, this is down to personal preference, how people operate bits and pieces. I have got a fairly fancy sort of, I think it's a Razer Naga Trinity mouse, which has got several little buttons on the side, which I can connect and turn them all into key bindings, which is what I'm going to do. It makes gaming a hell of a lot easier. So let's go into the multi-action bar. And what I like doing is putting some stuff down here on some of the key binds. The bottom right button, I'm going to do mouse. Sorry, bottom left. No, it must be bottom right. There we go. Use that on the mouse wheel. And I think that should be good to go. And then let's zoom out a little bit as well. So if you just press on my keyboard, just press an end and I can zoom out. So here we are. So let's just have a look at what I've actually got in terms of the achievements and bits and pieces. There we go. 0 achievement points. Nothing on this character whatsoever. Nothing on this account whatsoever. So it should be good fun pushing through. So first things first, let's start getting some of the questions out of the way. So let's speak to this character here. Your place in the world. Finally, you are of age, Sovik. Of age to battle in the name of the Horde, to conquer for the glory of the War Chief. Yes, you will do nicely. No doubt you wish to find a great dragon or demon and strangle it with your bare hands. Well, perhaps not. Perhaps it would be wise to start on something less dangerous. Let me guess, it's going to be boars. Report to Gornek. He should be able to assign a task better suited to a young warlock. You will find him seated at the fire behind me. Okay. And again, for new players, you've got so many on-screen prompts that you can kind of see what you need to do anyway. There we are, in the Valley of Trials. If we didn't know that, these are the basic buttons you need to move. Great, we've done all this before. So let's move on. Your place in the world. Another one of Coltunk's recruits. A sorry state of affairs we find ourselves in if this is the best the Horde can produce. No matter, by the time we think you're ready to leave the valley, you'll be a proud warrior of the Horde. So this is for my first 80 experience. Cutting teeth. The first order of business will be to put a little strength into your backbone. I could send you out to the Barrens to hunt Kodo, but well, in all honesty, you'll be more useful to us alive than dead. I believe you'll be more used to us slaughtering the boars you'll find in the farms to the north and northeast of here. So the quest objective, slaughter 6 mottled boars. And doing that will get us a pair of braces. Great, so let's just crack into that. So what spells we got at the moment? So spell 1 is Shadow Bolt. Now I like the way my mouse works, my things work on the mouse, is just putting that on button 4. So that's where it's going to be at the moment. I've also got here a racial talent, which is Blood Fury. Increases your intellect by 2 for 15 seconds. So let's move that over here somewhat. I don't think that's going to be something I use fairly frequently. Again, it's giving me a prompt to open the map. So let's do that and be on our way. It does feel a little bit strange straight off the bat, not having any mounts, not having the option to move there quite quickly. Also, I've got no pets either. So again, it's all very, very strange. Okay, so let's take out these boar. First kill. Okay, so let's open the bag. Tough jerky. Can we drag that into these action bars over here? We can. And that's kind of where I like having the half stone. I've got it on that sort of side for all of my characters. Okay, how many more do we need to kill? 5 more. Nothing beats killing the boars. Now, for anybody who's watching this video beyond, I'm recording this in September, a few weeks before pre-patch, and probably about a month and a half before Shadowlands is released. You'll see up on the top right corner, I've got a buff up here called Winds of Wisdom, which is an experience gain by 100%. I'm not looking for this series to try and rush through the speed of light to try and get to end game content. That's not really the sort of focus here. My focus is going to be on enjoying a character, enjoying the quests, trying to pick up the achievement points, the appearances, etc., and without rushing to get to level 120 in a space of 2 or 3 days. It's going to be a much slower pace, relaxed, chilled affair. So whilst this is great and it's going to help me sort of push me through the levels, to be perfectly honest, it's a shame it is there. You can't right click and remove it. So I am going to be leveling a little bit quicker than what I should be naturally. Okay, let's kill more of these boars. Okay, another one done. There might be only one quest in this area. Okay, and there we are, leveled up to level 2. First level on the board, not too surprising, because obviously the first levels don't take too long whatsoever. More tough jerky. Okay, again, it's giving me the prompt to open the map to see where I need to hand the quest in. I imagine it's going to be the same fellow that gave us a quest in the first place, which it is. So let's go and get this handed in. There we go. I've actually got that, clearly I've got that mount on my main account, but not over here. So I'm afraid it shanks this pony for the first few levels until I can afford a mount. Okay, so that is our first piece of gear. The good old mottled bracers. Item level 2, 1 armor. Let's install them as well, equip them as well. First piece of gear on the board. Looking good. Okay, so what's next? Invaders in our home. You're not just another grunt, you seem to be a serious warlock. Good, because that's exactly what I need. Don't know how he's kind of worked it out from just killing some boar, but there we go. Try not to let the word out since I don't want to cause a panic, but there have been reports of more humans nearby. This is an egregious betrayal of the peace that we negotiated with that miserable Jaina Proudmoore. We can't allow humans here in Juratar, and especially not here in the valley. You'll find them to the south. Slay them quickly before the numbers increase anymore. Okay, so quest objective, go and slay 7 Northwich Watch scouts to get some leggings. Sounds good to me. Right, is that the only quest in the area? It is. Oh no, sorry, there is another one over here. From Golgar. Golgar's Cactus Apple Surprise. It sure gets hot out here in the Valley of the Trials. If only I had some cactus apples, I could make my famous Cactus Apple Surprise. Nothing cools you off faster than a piece of that delicious treat. I'll tell you what, Sovik, if you bring me 6 cactus apples, I'll make you a few portions of Cactus Apple Surprise to take with you on your adventures. If you're interested, you can find cactus apples growing near the cactus plants around here. Obtain 6 cactus apples to receive a little bit of experience, a few copper coins, and 10 Cactus Apple Surprise. So it doesn't actually give us the option to decline this quest, so we'll take it anyway. Now I remember doing this quest, finding these apples beforehand, and you know, when I did an orc ages ago, and they were actually a bit of a pain to find. It does seem though they're a little bit more obvious. They seem glowing a bit more here. Okay. See if we can move on from bored humans. No match for our shadow bolts. Considering they're in stealth as well, they're not particularly well hidden. And there we go. So we're now up to level 3. Got our second ability. So anyone new to Warlock, this is called Corruption. This is more of a damage over time, or a dot ability. It corrupts the target, causing 21 shadow damage over 14 seconds. So we're going to put that one on as well. So what I'm actually going to probably do is swap them over. So I'm going to apply Corruption first, and then as soon as I apply the Corruption, I'll then use Shadow Bolts to finish them off. So let's give it a go on this fellow. So that's a Corruption. Corruption's applied. To be honest, at this level, it doesn't really make a great deal of difference in terms of speed, because the Shadow Bolts are killing people anyway, but it's good to just get into a good routine straight off the bat. Okay, these guys are going down fairly quickly. Another 4 copper. Let's start heading towards where the cactus apples are and see if we can kill people along the way. It's 5 or 7. I do think World of Warcraft with these opening quests have got it absolutely spot on. So, I've leveled plenty of characters, probably like many of you have in watching this video right now. But for anyone who's not really too sure what buttons to press, maybe a little bit slower, maybe we need to take a little bit more time. These Northwatch scouts really aren't doing a great deal of damage to them. You know, from 216 base health, what have I lost? 20. So it does give you that opportunity to learn your abilities, to get used to rotations, although we've only got 2 spells at the moment, and you know, get hands-on without fearing about getting killed. So you're not getting thrown in at the deep end. That's one of the things I do like about it. All these on-screen prompts as well. I cannot remember these being here, you know, let's say a couple of years ago, so these must be fairly new as well. Okay, yeah, don't have that in. Hopefully these on-screen prompts will sort of die out quite quickly. So what I'm going to do, although I've killed all of these individuals now, if there's any on my way to go and pick up the cactuses, I will take them down because there's a little bit of extra experience and a few extra coins as well. Well, when I say a few, I mean literally 1 there. Right, 1 more cactus apple. That's another one over here. In fact, there's 2 more over here. That will put me on 5, which means I've got 1 left to pick up. How do you get this control box off there? I'm not entirely sure. Okay, 5, 6. And there we go. There's the last one. Cool, 6 of 6. Again, it's given us a prompt to open a map. We know where we need to hand these quests into because they're exactly the same people we got the quests from. And as far as I can see, they haven't moved whatsoever. So let's just get these done. Executed with quickness and discretion. A job well done. So we get a pair of aversion leggings, 50 copper and 500 experience. Very nice. Okay, there's another quest. Sting of the Scorpid. I must send you back into the fields again, Warlock. You will find large numbers of Scorpids northwest of here. Bring me 8 of their tails. The antidote for their sting is actually made from venom extracted from their stingers. We keep large quantities of antidote for scorpion venom on hand to heal young bloods just like you. But I'm sure you won't be needing any of that, will you? So the quest objectives: obtain 8 scorpion worker tails, which hopefully will take us 8 kills, if not a little few more than that. Oh, there you go, it gives us a prompt. So we just right click that, we can equip our new leggings. How much of an upgrade are they? 2 armor from 2 armor. So, yeah, negligible. Have you finished collecting the cactus apples? Required items, 6 apples. Yes, I have. Here you go. Wonderful, Sovik. As promised, here is your cactus apple surprise, plus a little something extra. The coins, the experience, and the apples. Great. Okay, so that's up to level 4 now. So when do we get the next spell through? Level 5, Summon Imp. So we've still got 1 more level to go before that. We do have another quest from here, from Foreman Fazil. Lazy peons. The cursed peons. They work hard gathering lumber from the trees of the valley, but they're always taking naps. I need someone to help keep the peons in line. Look no further. You look like the right orc for my task. Here, you take this blackjack and use it on any lazy peons you find sleeping on the job. A good smack will get them right back to work. Return the blackjack when you're done. Look for them underneath the trees and the valley. Lousy, slacking peons. So the quest objectives: use the foreman's blackjack on 4 lazy peons when they're sleeping. And we actually get 1 silver 50 for that and 900 experience. For anyone that's new to the game, you can see that the blackjack is over here in my sort of quest area. So what we'll need to do, I can show you when we get there, but we need to click on one of the individuals and then right click on this, and that uses for quest items. So again, just bring up the map if you're not entirely sure. So 1 and 2 is exactly in the right area. In fact, if we click on the scorpids are a slightly different area. We can start picking them up here. So again, put the corruption on, and then start applying shadow bolts. Okay, so far we killed 2 and we've got 2 tails. We start keeping our eye out for these peons. So that's 4 from 4. Three left. Okay, so here's one of the peons over here. Let's go and wake him up. It's also useful as well as a starter level. The creatures you actually kill in this case of scorpions are yellow rather than red, so they are actually neutral to you. So if I didn't attack them, they won't attack me back. So you're not going to accidentally find yourself at level 3, level 4, unless you start attacking several of them, getting swamped by 3 or 4 of these, and suddenly finding your health goes down quite quickly. We actually got a belt from that, a cloth belt. Now, it is quite garbage, but it's better than what we've got at the moment, which is 0 belts, so let's equip that. Job done. Okay, so again, he literally just woke up while I walked up to him. Can I hit him, sir? No, because he's just woke up. Are you going back to sleep again? No, he's not. Typical. Okay, let's continue the search. Oh, there's another one over here. Right. There we go. 1 of 4. So we've got all the scorpions now. It's just the peons we need. There's another one. They did say they were laying underneath trees. There's another one. One more left. He's awake. Is he asleep over around? No. Hitting a tree as well. Ah, no, that's another quest. Let's go and grab that. These peons don't look as lazy how I remember them. Most of the ones I've found so far have actually all been awake hitting trees. Okay, Zarkov. Warlock. I thought I'd die out here with none to know it. While I was out hunting the scorpions of the valley, I came across a particularly vicious looking one. Hurling myself at it, I managed to inflict a massive blow to its claw before it closed around my leg. I wasn't ready for its stinger though, and it sliced down into my chest, cutting into my flesh and letting my blood. Please, you must kill the scorpion for me. My honour must be upheld. I fought it up on the plateau to the south. So the quest objective, kill Zarkov and bring his claw back to this chap, Hanazua. So let's accept that. Then you can see on the map, in fact he's gone to sleep. Brilliant. That's that one done. So one quest outstanding, which is the one we've just picked up. You can see on the mini-map up here where the blue circle is, it's quite obvious where this guy is. So let's see if we can get up there and kill him. There he is. Again, he's neutral because he's in yellow rather than in red. And let's see if we can get to the right sort of distance to put corruption on him. And there we go. So this is the first semi-difficult creature we've fought so far. And he hasn't really done a great deal to us. Let's get out the green goo. Job done. And we've got his mangled claw as well. Okay, let's go and hand that one in, and then we'll go back into the village and hand in the first two we picked up. By the time we handed all them in, that should push us up to about level 5. Zarkov. Ah, my father always said I would never amount to much, and here, lying beneath the trees, my life seeps away. I'm afraid it looks like he was right. At least I wish to die, knowing that my last enemy in life lays dead. Let's give him the claw that he wants. My blow was not enough to kill him, but looking at the damage I inflicted gives me some small measure of pride. That small measure will be all I have to sustain myself if I die, and in that light, the short list of my life's accomplishments fills me with anger. Well, let's take your coins and gain the experience. Back to the den. See, I thought he was going to die. He's back to life. Seeing the deed you have done for me steals my heart. I cannot fall so easily. I must endure. But it remains that I cannot make the trek back to our settlement unassisted. Please, Sovik, return and tell Gornek of my situation. Perhaps he can help me. So quest objective, bring the news of Hanazua's fight to Gornek in the Valley of the Trials. We get an armband, and we also get a 6-slot bag. So we'll accept that, so we're going that direction anyway. And again, on foot, it's a little bit slower. We're literally cigarette paper away from level 5 and getting our next ability, which was to summon Imp. Lazy peons. No good lazy. Do you have my blackjack? Did you catch any peons sleeping on the job? So he wants his blackjack back, which is not a problem. We don't need that anymore. Hand that in. Good. Maybe they'll think twice before slacking next time. There wasn't that many slacking. There's only a few. Thanks for the help. So we get 1 silver 50 and 900 experience for handing that in. And there we are. We're now up to level 5. Okay, so we've got our first summon ability for the Warlock, which is summon imps. I like to have these over here, just out of the way, because it's something you just cast once and then you just forget about, so you don't really need it on an action bar down here. So let's get our imp into play. And there he is. What's his name? Zorkua. Brilliant. Okay, let's move on. Hand the next one in. The Valley of Trials will temper even the weakest into a warrior worthy to join the Horde. Those who cannot rise to its test will be left to bake in the scorched desert sun. The carapace of a scorpid isn't so thick that the strength of a determined warrior will be deterred. Strike strongly and without doubt, and the scorpid shall prove easy prey. Yeah, he was quite easy. 8 scorpid worker tails for him. No, this is a boss one. There's an important lesson that you must take away from fighting scorpids. The smallest or largest of opponents can still send you to your doom. In fierce combat, any number of things can prove your downfall. I have no more to teach you, Sovik. You have done well, and I'll watch your progress with interest. So we get some robes, 1 silver, 900 experience. Back to the den. From your description of the beast, I believe you must be speaking of Zarkov. It is no wonder that Hanazua was overtaken by it. Aid will be dispatched to him immediately. Trouble yourself no more with Hanazua's plight. However, I must say, I am most impressed to hear that you have brought Zarkov to death. It is a fate to be proud of, Sovik, and that you would fight for a stranger's honour. While other tasks occupied your time, your own honour is heightened. And we get the armbands, and we get that bag, as we mentioned before. Okay, so the bag itself has already gone into one of my bag slots, which is great. Doesn't mean I need to fiddle around with that. However, we can start putting the other gear on. So we get the Venom Imbued Robes, which is an item level 3 to armour, which is pretty much the same as that. Do we get anything else? Oh, and we've got the armbands as well, which replaces the other armband with 1 arm or 1 arrow. So we're not actually making any real decent upgrades with our gear at the moment. Not that we need to, because the creatures around here haven't proven to be so far so testing. Okay, another quest. Vile Familiars. I trust the Valley of Trials will teach you much, young Warlock. I was sent to the valley to guide you, but I've discovered a growing taint here. One of the Burning Blade, a foul, demon-worshipping cult, has made camp here in the Valley of Trials. He skulks in a cave to the north, and his Vile Familiars, I think we saw them earlier, has spilled from its mouth to cause havoc. As your first task against the Burning Blade, I bid you defeat these familiars, slay many, and if you survive, return to me. So kill 8 of the Vile Familiars, and we get some feet, which we don't have anything at the moment, which is good. So let's accept that as well. Again, we won't give any option of not accepting that quest, because we're still in the starter area. This is also kind of guiding us through the first sort of few levels, so you kind of have to accept that. Of course, if you didn't want to, you could just walk out the valley and go somewhere else, but for the purpose of this and the purpose of developing this young orc, it's worth just taking these. Here's my little imp running alongside. Same level as me, level 5. Right, so we need to kill 8 of these. How much damage is he doing? 13. So he's doing pretty much the same damage as what my Shadow Balls are doing as well. So again, apply the corruption. Yeah, going through these quite quickly. Ah, we've actually got a pouch from that. And that has also equipped in there as well, so a little bit more bag space. Not that we're going to pick up anything really of any great value in these starter areas. It's always nice just to pick up a bag space straight away. I'm going through these quite quickly, but I might start actually targeting the second one whilst the first one is dying. There we go, up to level 6. Again, this is where this Winds of Wisdom is just artificially boosting my experience. I'm not sure, really, that I should be up to level 6 at the moment. Probably more like that level 4. Okay, need one more. Job done. Okay, that's the only one we had. Yeah, so we've got to go all the way back. Again, that character we saw early on who had the chauffeur mount, that would have been quite useful to speed us up. But we haven't got that. We're literally still on foot. So we'll go and run back and hand this in. Again, I could kill some of these random creatures as I go back. But I don't really want to artificially, at this stage anyway, artificially boost my experience. Because what I'll try and do is, you know, get through several zones over in Kalimdor before I move on to, you know, Wrath of the Lich King or Outlands. So what I don't want to do is boost my experience artificially up too much, but suddenly I'm only getting through maybe one zone before I need to move on to the next expansion, which wouldn't be good fun. Okay, Vile Familiars. You have done well, Sovik. Although the Vile Familiars were merely pets of the darker powers within the Burning Blade, your success against them foretells greater deeds ahead. Rewards. You will receive Vile Slippers, 2 silver 50, and a good chunk of experience, which is actually half a level. Burning Blade Medallion. Through my divinations, I see that an item of power, a medallion, hides deep within the Burning Blade Coven, guarded by beasts and black magic. We must have it. For too long, these demon worshippers have defiled our homelands. Cleanse the Coven of its demonic taint by slaying the fell beasts and their leader. Return with this medallion as a proof of your deed. Go, Sovik. You will find the Coven in a cave to the north. Quest objective, slay 5 Fellstalkers and obtain the Burning Blade Medallion. And for that we get some gloves. In fact, this guy's got a quest, so we accept that. Thrazril's Pits. Sovik, you are a dependable orc. Well, I like to think so. Can I count on you for another task? Depends what it is. Some time ago, I was surveying the cave to the north, handy because that's where we're going for minerals, and I left my favourite pick behind. When I later returned to retrieve it, I found the cave was filled with vicious beasts. Will you go into the cave, the Burning Blade Coven, and get my pick? I left it in a chamber with waterfalls. My pick has a spell on it, so you can see it in the dark, so you won't have to worry about finding it, just what's guarding it. Bring his pick back to the foreman. Again, no worries, we're going there anyway, so that's a bit of a no-brainer, so let's accept that.
Go forth to victory.
Right. So, what we've been playing for now, about half an hour, 40 minutes, we're up to level 6. We've got 2 quests ahead where we need to go into the cave and defeat some creatures, bring back a pick. So I think at this stage, for the first video, we're going to draw this to an end. Hopefully you've enjoyed the slow, methodical content. As I said, I want to try and enjoy the quests a bit more, enjoy the missions and enjoy the level and experience, rather than rushing all the way through. What I'm going to look to do in the next video, before we start to go and retrieve this pick and destroy the creatures, is start to put some of the add-ons on as well. So the video will not just be gameplay content, it'll be installing some of the add-ons that I like, and maybe some of the add-ons you haven't seen before, which enhances my game experience and might be useful for you. So for now, thank you very much for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like, maybe subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff. And for now, goodbye.